Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled. Grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. Kindly take us through the order of the day.
Order paper number 253 of today, Thursday, 7th November 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I have one communication to make. We have visitors at the public gallery. Honorable members, these are a group of young leaders from Great Lakes University. The Student Assembly of Great Lakes University have graced us with their presence today. They are here to watch and learn from our county assembly proceedings, which demonstrates their keen interest in the democratic process. You are aware that the governor of Kisumu County is the chancellor of Great Lakes University. We are proud of Great Lakes University being a university within Kisumu County. And the gallery, you have their speaker, Vincent Mike. We have got committee member, Elvis Matabiri. We have got another committee member, Caleb Okach. We have so many delegates, Melda, Damaris, Beth Mweni, Fortune Okubi, Kevin Lumumba, Benjamin Manzugu, Steve Biko, Paul Alwell, Richard Asala, Dennis Kirio, and Edward Bigan. It's truly inspiring to see such insight for the public service among our future leaders. And I want to encourage the students to observe the proceedings of this House and learn from the deliberations and decisions made herein. I want to welcome them to the County Assembly of Kisumu and wish them a fruitful learning experience and hope that their visit will ignite passion for public service within them. As per our tradition, I will give few members an opportunity to say something to the students. And of course, I'll give the leader of majority who will speak last. But I want to give one male member of County Assembly and one female member of County Assembly. I was looking around to see if the member of Kajulu Ward is here, but the member of Kajulu Ward is not here. But I can see a member from East, Honorable Ruben Rakwach. He will speak on behalf of Kisumu East. Where's Great Lakes? Is it in Kisumu East or in Miwani? In Miwani. Yes, so I get somebody from Miwani. From Moroni. Honorable Kobudo. You will speak and then who is the host? Yes, before you speak, I want one female MCA, Honorable Nerea. But of course, Honorable Iko, you must tell the students something. So let's start with the host first.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Allow me to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to welcome the student of Great Lakes University to the County Assembly of Kisumu. This is County Assembly of Kisumu, where laws and legislation that governs every legal activity that goes around in Kisumu County takes place. And I think this is a very important opportunity for you to come firsthand to interact and see how the business of the assembly is going on. On behalf of the people of Muhoroni, which soon I am going to represent as the area MP, I humbly urge you to not to make this as the last chance, to make it frequent, so that at least when you're outside there, you can be the ambassador of this assembly, just to let the public know, because you come from different families, you come from different backgrounds, and you get a chance to interact with many people, sometimes more than members of this assembly, because most members normally interact with people in large forums where you don't get a chance at least to explain to other people some of the things you would like to. But as for you, and being that you guys are also getting to be scholars, learning, getting to know what's going around in this assembly is an opportunity also for you to learn. Therefore, I appreciate your coming and feel most welcome. This is County Assembly of Kisumu. Otherwise, thank you and feel most welcome.
Members, Honorable Jena Kizito is threatening me that she will bring an impeachment motion on me that she stood and I didn't recognize her. So I'm giving you 1 minute. Strictly 1 minute, Honorable Jena. Don't threaten me.
Hi. Honorable Speaker, thank you. Okay, I want to say this to the youth from Clark University. My main reason why I'm here at the assembly is to represent you as the youth. I'm your representative here. So feel free, feel at home. I'll be the next two-man rep of Kisumu County. So definitely we are welcoming you here so that you can occupy these spaces, okay? Yeah, always feel free, be at the table, sit at the table so that you can also be part of the decision-making processes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I didn't know I was only giving her a chance to campaign. But anyway, Honorable Benny Peter Iko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the young ones come to this assembly, they need to hear our voices and to get to know what is it that has brought us here. When they go out, what will they go out back that they have learned from the assembly? Here, we represent the people of Kisumu, and we have three key responsibilities: representation, oversight, and legislation. But I want to talk about representation. What is this representation role that we have? The representation role that we have enables us to talk on behalf, to represent the interest of our people, the people who elected us. That is a key role that is being overlooked. An elected member can go to any office to canvass for the interest of his or her people. A very key role which is never taken seriously. So as an elected MCA, we represent the interests of our people at the county government level, and there is no sin in representing the interests of our people at the national level. Because both the county and the national government are supposed to work hand in hand. But it is an area that is assumed, ignored, and is not taken seriously. So when you hear about MCA canvassing for the interests of his or her people at a national office, that is a very noble responsibility. But I want to express this also to you. In Kisumu County, Great Lakes University is our local private university. A very good achievement by our professors. And it is great that Professor Nyong'o is the chancellor of the university. A very good brain who was recognized from the time of his student day up to now. A very good brain indeed. And left a very good record at Makerere University. And I remember it was around 2021, 2022, when the students of Makerere University, the leaders, came to visit him in their program when they were remembering the heroes of Makerere University. Professor Nyong'o is one of them. In Kisumu here, Kisumu town, I know we don't have some of our locals, and some of you are not our locals, but you are Kenyans. The town where we are got its name because it was a center for trade of the people of Kisumu and the people of Kano. And it was known as a Kisumu place. That is a place where barter trade was taking place. And with the development of this town and the coming of the Wazungu, the name was christened to Kisumu, to give it the English version. That is what Kisumu is. And we are proud of the Great Lakes University because it is our local university, championed by our local professors, a very good achievement for our people. I also know that among you, you are from different faculties. And the problem of unemployment, that is a major issue in Kenya. I know you are discussing at your level. What will I do? Will I get employment? Employment has become a very big matter in Kenya, very big issue, because the number is now too big, the vacancies are few, so we must struggle to be relevant in the society, to struggle to get placed where we can. But we know there are two professions where the government employs every year. That is the teaching profession and the medical profession. So those who are lucky to have joined those may find themselves getting employment, but let us discuss matters of employment for our people, for our youth. Let the politicians figure out what development, what projects should be done to provide employment to the young people of Kenya.
Wind up, Honorable Benny.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Speaker, I will not stop without telling them that this town of Kisumu is where Jaramogi Oginga Odinga grew up, in an estate called Kaloleni. So some of you who may not have known Kaloleni, that is one of the oldest estates in Kisumu. And that is where the late Doyen of politics in Kenya grew up. I end there, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Naraya, because I had promised I'll give you, now you can take 1 minute. I think Honorable Iko has done it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think most of it has been done. But again, I welcome you to Kisumu County Assembly, noting that your institution is a renowned institution of higher learning. Maybe mine would just ask that you open your doors for collaboration and partnership with the Kisumu County Assembly and Kisumu County government, especially on areas of research and policy on issues that affect Kisumu County most, issues on climate change and research areas like malaria. We had a motion the other day on mosquito bites that is affecting Kisumu County. So if we could partner on such areas and come up with issues or facts that can enable us deliver well to residents of Kisumu County and even your institution, because you're part of us, then that will make a very good ground for, visiting and sharing experiences with us. Otherwise, welcome to Kisumu County Assembly.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also want to take this chance to welcome the students from Great Lakes University to the County Assembly of Kisumu. And I want to tell them that in this house, we debate matters of county importance and matters and issues affecting members of our community in this region. As an institution of higher learning in this region, I want to say that we are proud of you. We are happy with you because we've not seen any bad behavior from students from Great Lakes University. Otherwise, I want to say that in this house, when you see members, there are only 2 members representing the youth. And you can look at the number, we are 47, in fact 48, including the speaker. So I want to challenge you that when you go outside there, when general election comes, I want to urge you to vie so that you can also come and present your people. It is not a matter of having money. It is a matter of having good policies for people you want to represent. So that's a challenge for you. In this house, we have members from different educational backgrounds. The member sitting as the speaker is an engineer. So we have different people in this house with different educational background, ranging from all cadres, accountants, we have lawyers, we have people ranging from 4 levels to master's degrees, and some of us are pursuing PhDs. We even have members who are very serious in the military. So you can see how this house is very composed. Otherwise, feel most welcome. Thank you very much.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to table the paper pursuant to the provisions of orders number 182.6 of the standing orders. I wish to table today, Thursday, 7th November 2024, a report of Selection Committee on realignment of committees. Thank you.
Honorable members, the Selection Committee report on realignment of committee membership in the County Assembly is properly laid before the House, and I direct that the House Business Committee considers scheduling this report for debate. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker, I rise to give a notice of motion that pursuant to the provisions of orders number 45.1 of the standing orders, this House adopts the report of Selection Committee on the alignment of committees. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Statement time. Mr. Honorable, I was seeing Honorable Nancy was on her feet, and I'm also seeing the Leader of Majority. All of them have gone down. Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to make a statement regarding the escalating and widespread incidences of insecurity within Kisumu County. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I rise pursuant to orders number 42.2b of the standing orders that seek a statement from the chairperson of the Sectoral Committee on Administration of Law, Justice, Constitutional Affairs, Good Governance and Security regarding the escalating and widespread incidences of insecurity within Kisumu County. The right to security is a fundamental human right and a crucial component of a safe and functional society. Security is essential to protect individuals' well-being and allow them to pursue their livelihoods and participate freely in social, economic, and political activities without fear. The right to security not only encompasses protection from crime, but also includes proactive measures that ensure public order and peace. The Constitution of Kenya 2010 underscores the responsibility of the government and its institutions to ensure that all citizens live in a secure environment free from violence and intimidation. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the above notwithstanding, residents and businesses in the county alike are living in fear due to a surge in criminal activities. Below are a few of these incidences. One, the recent tragic killings of a security guard at Riat Market in Ahero Ward underscores the severity of the situation and the potential for fatal consequences. Two, in Kajulu Ward, there is one Mr. Jacko Witi from Obolo Market that was attacked at night and succumbed from the injuries sustained, while Mr. Rewe was attacked at 5 a.m. in the morning in the same Kajulu Ward. In addition to this, decrees have surfaced in social media platforms over daylight robbery, particularly near the Nyamasaria flyover, and night break-ins, all especially our estates, incidents that have become increasingly common, causing widespread anxiety among the populace. Honorable Speaker, while these are just a few examples, I am confident that each and every honorable member has encountered similar, if not more, severe cases of insecurity within their respective wards and other areas of residence. In light of these pressing concerns, The chairperson of the committee should inquire and provide a comprehensive report on 1, security protocols. Details on the specific security protocols currently in place within Kisumu County to safeguard residents and business, particularly in high-risk urban and semi-urban areas. 2, police deployment and response. How police personnel are currently deployed across the country with a particular focus on areas prone to frequent criminal activities. Strategies in place to ensure timely and effective responses to reported incidents. 3, protection of security guards and community involvement. Policies and measures are in place to support and protect security guards who often bear the brunt of criminal attacks. How community watch groups can be effectively integrated with the law enforcement to enhance local safety and security. And 4, crime hotspots and surveillance. Some of the specific measures being taken to improve security in non-crime hotspots within the county. Plans in place to install surveillance systems in these areas to deter criminal activities and aid in investigations. 5, long-term security strategy. Details of the long-term plans and proposed strategies of the county to address the underlying causes of insecurity and foster a more secure and stable environment for all Kisumu residents. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have another statement that is also in the order paper. So if you allow me, I continue and finish with the statement. Thank you.
Honorable members, the majority leader requested me that I can give chance to 2 or 3 people if they have comments on the same statement on insecurity. If none, Honorable Ochele. Honorable Moses Ochele.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the statement by Majority Leader has just come at the right time, because insecurity has become a serious phenomenon in this country and nationally. And Mr. Speaker, privately and through print and audio media, I've learned of several cases of insecurity around our county. And that, Mr. Speaker, prompted the committee of JLAC to formulate a meeting with the security team, the inspectorate team, and also to book an appointment with the county director, county commissioner. And Mr. Speaker, it was only stopped when we went on recess, also on CASA games. And therefore, now that the statement is there, I think it is now just invigorating the committee to push harder and bring a substantive report and prepare how prepared the county government is and how prepared the national government is on matters of security to help our people be safe, live safely, and work freely. Therefore, with that, because we had made an initiative, Mr. Speaker, I think the House can just give us 2 weeks, then a report will be within the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I direct that the statement be committed to the Committee on Law, Justice, Legal Affairs, Good Governance and Security, and you bring the report to the House within 2 weeks. Remember, when we say 2 weeks, let it be 2 weeks. Whether it's a full report, half report, whether it's positive or negative, the report must come to the Assembly for deliberation. Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. I would like to raise a statement regarding the ongoing issue of non-functional streetlights and floodlights in the whole ward at the county as a whole. Honorable Speaker, I rise to pass on to orders number 42 to be of the standing orders to stick a statement from the chairperson of the Sectoral Committee on Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works regarding the ongoing issue of non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero ward and the county as a whole. The absence or malfunction of these essential lighting systems poses a significant security risk to the residents of Kisumu County, particularly in Ahero town, where I represent. This problem is being experienced in the following areas. 1, Ahero Market floodlights. 2, Ahero Market street lights. 3, Kaboi floodlights. 4, Jasmine street lights. 5, Maembe floodlights. 6, Panarol floodlights. 7, Riat Market floodlights. Honorable Speaker, in response to this pressing matter, the chairperson of the committee should provide detailed report on the following. 1, the specific reasons behind the failure of the aforementioned street lights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and any others within the county. 2, any immediate or long-term intervention being undertaken to restore the functionality of these lighting systems. And lastly, specific timelines for the restoration of each individual lighting installation, ensuring transparency and accountability. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ruben Rakwach.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would state that the committee be given 2 weeks to respond, to get a response from the department.
What is it, Honorable Deputy Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before the committee request to be given 2 weeks, I remember there was a similar statement raised on this floor, and a response had been given with a promise that those lights were to be repaired within a specific period of time. To date, nothing is happening. Another statement is being sought. Maybe the chair should tell us what became of the first, of the previous response. Where has it reached? And why are they taking another statement when they've not followed up on the previous response? Thank you, Speaker.
Chair, implementation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not able to answer that. Maybe I would request my deputy chair, since I've been away, to answer. Thank you.
Yes, Deputy Chair, implementation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this matter is not before our desk. Mr. Speaker, I can remember this statement.
Honorable Were, what the Honorable Deputy Speaker is saying is that similar matter came to this House.
Yeah.
Resolutions were made, and I think she's referring to a response of an action within some period. So that's what you want to know. What happened?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this matter was debated here, and this matter was dispensed with. I think you can just give us maybe just a week so that we can refresh and get to know more about it and report back, Mr. Speaker.
Is it Honorable Billy? What?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue of floodlight within Kisumu County is a problem. But the truth to be told,
Honorable Dari, I have not opened debate. I'm still following up on a matter. I had given to the chair infrastructure to respond to the statement by the leader of majority. And I had an interjection by the deputy speaker who is raising that a similar statement was in this House and even response made. So that's why I gave an opportunity to the implementation chair, because it is their responsibility to follow up on resolutions of the House. So I thought you wanted to help me there.
yes, I've seen the committee of implementation. I think they were not ready with the answer. But can I assist them if you allow me? What is going on? I'm seeing my senior is... okay, the fact is, as much as the majority leader has raised the statement, if you go down there, If you go down there asking about the floodlights, the answer that...
What is the point of order, Honorable Boris Geta?
Point of information, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Whom do you want to inform?
I want to inform the Speaker on the floor, Mr. Speaker.
Bodari, Honorable Geta wants to inform you.
Mr. Speaker, I think Honorable Ngeta, I think he should wait and listen carefully, because I have not concluded my statement, what I wanted to say, and he has stood up, wanted to inform me. So I don't know what he is going to inform me about. And he has not even listened to what I want to say. No, he is not young. Honorable Senior member.
Honorable Dari, you have refused the information by Honorable Geta, so proceed. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the fact is about floodlights. The answer that you will be given by those people who are down there, but the CEC Finance has declined to release the funds so that the floodlights can be repaired. That is the truth of the nation.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Under statement of fact, under statement of fact, Mr. Speaker, the honorable member was on the first is insinuating that the department will not give the clear information. Can he substantiate the information we're getting? Thank you.
Why don't you give me time? I've gone there. Each and every time you people are defending these people and they are messing us in Kisumu County. Why? Why must they be defended? The truth must be told. And we are, all of us, and that is the fact, all of us, if we are not careful, we are going back home.
On a point of order, Honorable Speaker.
No, Mr. Speaker, you should protect me, because each and every time if I want to talk, now they want to...
On a point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Which point of order?
Ordinary proceed.
All the members, Honorable Seth, what is the point of order?
Honorable Speaker, under statement of facts, standing order number 89, I believe so. The honorable member insinuating that he had gone there and there are communications that the finance department refused to give money. Honorable Speaker, that's a very, very serious statement that we need to have facts about. If not, I think it's just good that he apologizes. Because going there individually, without the approval of the assembly, and making stories along the road, should not form the basis on which...
Mr. Speaker, I personally...
Receive your seat, honorable members. You know how the assembly operates. The honorable Seth is on a point of order. Of course, I will listen to him. I may rule him out of order, or I may give you time to respond. So just hold your question. Can you...
Honorable Speaker, I was saying that, you know, without any communication written to this House, I think talks on the streets, especially in this House, should not form a basis on which we can castigate any person. So if the Honorable Dari really wanted to get information from the department, he should have followed the channels of the assembly. But based on what he's saying, Honorable Speaker, if he can't prove that there were such allegations, then I think it's just good that he withdraws and apologizes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Dari?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Seth, I will not apologize. Number one, for your information, when we came to this assembly, I raised the statement, and nothing has been done for your information about the floodlights. The truth is, if you want the facts, let's call the CEC and those guys down there. I will prove them right here. Because because they communicated to me. It is me who went there. Now they are asking me to, no. Let us defend these people. That is the fact. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, you know, when we debate based on facts. And we follow you have your standing order. and you should treat it as your Bible when you are here. The matter at hand is a statement raised by Honorable Leader of Majority. I want to direct that I don't want it to take much of our time because I'm seeing members are digressing from what we were discussing. My concern was based on the statement, not statement, but the interjection by the Honorable Deputy Speaker that a similar statement was here and that response had been made. So I wanted to inquire the status. And now that it looks like the disciplinary committee is not ready with the status, I want to say the following. One, the implementation committee, I've repeated it severally, that whenever we make a resolution in this house, even without mentioning, you are supposed to pick it up. And there is a timeline that is given in the standing order when you are supposed to inquire about the status of such resolutions and give feedback. Either through statement, you can start during statement time and give feedback, or do a substantive report if there are resolutions that you want members to adopt. But I would direct that the statement by the Honorable Leader of Majority be committed to the Committee of Infrastructure and Roads, Public Works, and you report back within 2 weeks alongside the status that we are referring to, the response that was given some times back. I don't have the specific date, but I think you can liaise with our Hansard team to get the specific dates and the response that was given. And last time, I think it was yesterday, when your committee was presenting something on a statement. This is an inquiry. Please ensure that you bring on board all the witnesses when you will be doing this, so that when you report back, everybody is brought on board, including the owner of the statement, who is the Leader of Majority. Honorable Rakwa just listened to me that the member who has raised the statement is a witness in your committee. So ensure that you call him alongside your committee. Honorable Nancy, I had seen you up.
Mr. Speaker,
What is it, Honorable Dari?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know, I need your clarification. A member who has read the statement is a member of Committee of Roads.
Honorable Dari.
Also is a majority.
Honorable Dari. I am treating the statement as a statement raised in the House. So I am not aware if it's a member of the committee or not, but I've given my direction to the chair of the committee that the owner of the statement is a witness. Is a witness in the committee, and during the debate you can join the committee and raise that so that we see it when it comes as a report. So I'm not aware if the Leader of Majority is a member of the committee, but I'm addressing the chair of the said committee. Honorable Nancy Matara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I write the pursuant standing order number 42 on a personal statement. As the chair of the Gender, Sports, Culture, and Youth Affairs, I'll bring a comprehensive report on the...
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member on the floor has just mentioned that she's bringing personal statement and starts by saying, as the chair of sports culture. I don't know how being a chair of sports culture makes a statement personal. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Seth, I rule you out of order. I wanted to listen to what she's saying for me to make ruling whether that statement is personal or not. So, Honorable Nancy, can you proceed?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to talk on a general comment, personal statement. I thank you. Kindly give me time, the DS. I'll bring a comprehensive report on the CASA event, But it's so prudent that I just want to brief the lovely Assembly of Kisumu County on how we performed during the CASA. And I do hope all the members enjoyed the CASA. I want to first congratulate the most improved discipline, which is netball. We've never brought a trophy on that. And this time we had a trophy. We won number 3. And congratulations to them. We took back the 3 trophies on the 5th edition CASA, and we came back with 5. First, I want to say that I want to congratulate the choir members for retaining their number 1 on the set piece. I want to congratulate also the choir members for retaining the number 3 on the on-sacred. I want to congratulate the Ajwa for retaining their number 3. I want to congratulate the draft people for giving us number 3. And I also want to congratulate the...
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Maurice Ngeta, whom do you want to inform?
Mr. Speaker, let's not violate the rules of this House, Mr. Speaker.
Whom do you want to inform, Honorable?
I want to inform the House, Mr. Speaker.
What is it?
Mr. Speaker, I've seen my sister, Nancy, is bringing a statement of the countywide statement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let her follow the right procedure to bring a correct statement in this floor, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have seen... Mr. Speaker, let her just follow the right procedure, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let's not be...
James Molo, you can receive as Honorable Ngeta, I've heard you. Honorable Nancy Mata is the chairperson of the Sports Culture Committee. Honorable Nancy, you would have stood, if I gauge what you are saying, you would have stood on standing order number 41 to D. 41 to D. And I read, the minority leader, or a committee chairperson, as the case may be, or their designees may make a statement relating to their responsibilities in the county assembly or the activities of a committee. I believe that's what you wanted to do. It's a requirement that when you are doing that, you shall, before 1 p.m. of the day on which the statement is proposed to be made, hand over a written statement to the speaker, but there is provision that there may be leave by the speaker or by the House. So I want to give you leave that you proceed with your statement, but make it as a learning that next time when you are talking about personal statement, it's about you. And when you are touching on the county, it's a topical concern. Proceed. I give you 2 minutes maximum.
Thank you.
Whom do you want to inform, Honorable?
Of course, the honor of the statement. Mr. Speaker, whatever statement she's bringing is in order. But the unfortunate part, whether you tell us we are number 3 Naju and there's no documentation, I treat that as rumors. And I think she's not right to proceed, mentioning serious achievement that we have without any documentation. Even if she's lying, we don't know.
Honorable.
So I think you advise and let her prepare a statement with facts and a record that you can keep and know our position. She's just wasting our time now, Mr. Speaker. Just 2 minutes.
Honorable Kelvin, I rule you out of order. There is no member who can waste your time. I give you 2 minutes. I will make a direction on your statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But it's not a personal statement.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to just reply to Honorable Kelvin Oraro.
Honorable Nancy, I've given you 2 minutes to present your statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Actually, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to present them, but I didn't see anywhere the provision that permits us to bring the certificates and the trophies in the House. Thank you so much. Members, what I wanted to say is this. I'm so grateful that we went for the CASA and we did it and we brought 5 trophies. Mr. Speaker and the honorable members, I was so happy but yet disappointed where other disciplines we were disqualified because of lack of threshold of members. Kindly members, if you know that you can't do 2 disciplines at a time, can register at 1 discipline. And I'll be grateful if you do it, because we lost some games just because there was not a threshold for the members who were not present, and they were not allowed the staffs, like badminton. I remember I called 2 honorable members, but they couldn't make it. Actually, one told me that, Nancy, I don't think if I can make it, because I'm doing something very important that I want to make it. And he knows himself. And he's in the room.
Honorable Nancy, you want to say that badminton, even Honorable God wanted to be there. There were so many members. Anyway, you have a good statement, but you are bringing it in the wrong way. Go and prepare.
And that's the reason why.
Order, Honorable Nancy, receive your seat. Through your committee or even with your committee, you can either prepare a report or prepare a statement. You can give to the speaker to give during communication, even with the certificates, so that we communicate officially. I think within the week you can sit as the committee, do your feedback so that you bring it officially to the House. Otherwise, we appreciate you for what you've done. And compared to last year, based on what you've said, I personally have seen the trophies when they were brought today. And I think I saw 5, not even I think, I'm sure I saw 5 trophies as opposed to 3, which I saw in the last in the last year. What is it, the leader of majority? Where are you standing?
Mr. Speaker, I also want to echo my voice to Honorable Nancy Matara. When you are congratulating members, you have failed to congratulate me. Yet I really represented the tug of war that was even rained on severally. I just want to urge you that when you are doing a report, give us proposals that next time we go to CASA, we have a camp like school camp so that members can participate 100%. Well, thank you.
Honorable God, I don't want to open a debate.
Okay.
Honorable Nancy, just receive your seat. Switch off your microphone. Honorable God, I don't want to open a debate. What is it?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And on the matter of the floor, I know a comprehensive statement will be brought by the chair, but Mr. Speaker, as the National Treasurer, CASA, I want to appreciate the Kisumu County Assembly for having participated fully in all the games during the day and during the night. And I want to, I know I will be part of the statement. I also want to congratulate Majority Leader for being the best coordinator for the first time without approval by the NEC, but he took the job and he did a good job. And I think as CASA, we'll appreciate him well when we do our post-mortem on the same. The Deputy Majority Leader, the junior as well, tried to play, but the game we went to, we lost. So I want him to, I request that next time, he doesn't do the night one before coming to the day one.
Thank you, Honorable God.
Thank you.
Honorable God, receive your seat. Order, Honorable Nancy. The statement time is 1 hour. We are 2 minutes past 1 hour on the statement time. Honorable God, keep your debate. When the statement come, I will give you time and debate. Honorable Nancy, I have given a direction. Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of Appointments Committee on the suitability of Mr. Hesbon Owuor Hongo, nominee to the position of County Secretary.
The majority moves the motion. In the order paper, I want to refer you to page 365. That is on notices, and that is limitation of debates. The House resolved on Wednesday, 21st February 2024 as follows. That pursuant to provision of standing order number 95(1) of the standing order, this assembly orders that each speech in a debate, the report of a committee, a sessional paper, or any other report submitted to the County Assembly be limited as follows. A maximum of 3 hours for the whole report, with not more than 20 minutes for the mover of the motion and 10 minutes in replying, and a maximum of 5 minutes for any other member speaking except the leader of majority, who shall be limited to a maximum of 15 minutes. And that priority shall be accorded to the leader of majority party in that order. I'm raising this one because we have a report. So the report cannot go beyond 3 hours, and the limitation is as per what we resolved on the 21st of February 2024 on Wednesday in this House. So leader of majority, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the report on the suitability of Mr. Hezbon Ongo, nominee to the office of the County Secretary. And honorable members, I will take you through using the moving notes, as the comprehensive report was posted in our wall early enough. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Section 44 of the County Governments Act 2012, read together with Section 6 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, His Excellency the Governor submitted to the County Assembly the nomination of Mr. Hezbon Ongo, nominee for appointment to the position of the County Secretary, for vetting and approval by the County Assembly. The nomination of Mr. Hezbon Ongo was conveyed to the Speaker of the County Assembly via letter reference CGK/CS/ADM/01/volume 1/914, dated 4th October 2024, alongside the nominees' CVs and testimonials. Consequently, on 9th October 2024, pursuant to Section 6 of the Public Appointments and County Assemblies Approval Act, the leader of majority tabled the name of the nominee on the table of this Honorable House for approval and was committed to the Committee on Appointments by the Honorable Speaker in accordance with Section 6, Part 7 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, and Standing Order number 187 for vetting and reporting to the House within 21 days. Pursuant to Section 7, Part 4 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, the Clerk of the County Assembly placed an advert in the print media on 18th October 2024, notifying the nominee of the time and place of the approval hearing, and invited the public to submit memoranda by way of written statements on oath on the suitability or otherwise of the nominee in accordance with the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017. That is in the next 2. The advertisement indicated that the submission were to be received on or before 31st October 2024 at 4 p.m. By close of the submission deadline, the committee had not received any memoranda in regards to the suitability of the nominee for appointment. Further, in fulfillment of the provisions of Section 87 of the County Governments Act 2012, and together with Section 7, Part 5 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017 and Standing Order number 187, the Clerk of the County Assembly also notified the public through the print media that the committee would conduct the approval hearing on Thursday, 31st October 2024 at 11 a.m. at the County Assembly Chambers. Annex 2. The nominee appeared before the committee as scheduled on Thursday, 31st October 2024 at 11 a.m. for an approval hearing on his suitability or otherwise for appointment by the position of the County Secretary. As per the requirements of the Constitution, the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, the County Governments Act 2012, and the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders. The committee, having considered the nominees' field questionnaire pursuant to Section 7, Part 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, ECV, and having had his oral submissions during the approval hearing, made the following observation on his suitability for appointment as the County Secretary. 1. That in accordance with Articles 78(1) and 2 of the Constitution, the nominee is a Kenyan citizen born in Kisumu County and does not hold dual citizenship. That pursuant to Section 44 of the County Governments Act 2012, the nominee is a holder of a first degree of Bachelors of Commerce from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, a recognized university in Kenya, and a Master's of Business Administration, Finance Management in 2017 from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. His academic credentials, professional training, and experience thus comply with Section 44 of the County Government Act 2012 and Section 8C of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act of 2017. That he meets the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on Leadership and Integrity, having observed that the DCI, KRA, HELP, and EACC had issued the nominee with the clearance certificates. That the nominee has not been charged in a court of law in the last 3 years. 5, that as stipulated in Article 75(1) of the Constitution, the nominee has no potential conflict of interest. 4, that the nominee satisfies the requirement of Article 77(1) of the Constitution in that he does not intend to participate in any other gainful employment. 7, that the nominee does not hold office in any political party, hence satisfy the provisions of Article 77(2) of the Constitution. That he has never been dismissed from office under Article 75 of the Constitution for contravention of provisions of Article 7(1), that is conflict of interest, Article 76, financial probity, Article 77, restriction on activities of state officers, and Article 78(2) of dual citizenship of the Constitution. That having fulfilled the academic and professional qualifications required for the appointment to the position pursuant to Section 44 of the County Government Act 2012, the nominee demonstrated knowledge of topical, administrative, and technical issues touching on the portfolio to which he had been nominated, and had the requisite abilities required for the position in accordance with the requirements of Section 44 of the County Government Act 2012 to be approved for appointment as a county secretary. That the nominee was awarded a score of 80.88% by the committee panelists, being above the set pass mark of 60%, as indicated in the score sheet analysis below. The committee hence recommends that this House, 1, approve the nomination of Mr. Hesbon Ongo, nominee for the position of the County Secretary, for appointment by His Excellency the Governor. May I therefore take this opportunity to thank all the members of the committee for their input, valuable contributions, and time during the approval hearings and deliberations during the writing of the report. The committee also takes this opportunity to thank the Office of the Speaker and Office of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the technical support accorded to it during the exercise. And also, Speaker, may I call upon Honorable Nereo Kombo MC Manyata B and the Deputy Speaker to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me rise on the affirmation of the appointment committee that one Mr. Hesbon Hongo is the most credible and suitable person amongst all that were tested to hold this position of the county secretary. Mr. Speaker, having been awarded 80.88% out of 100, and Mr. Speaker, we all know that 80 rounded off to the nearest hundreds gives you 100%. And Mr. Speaker, as a member of this committee, I also want to confirm in the voice of my teammates that Mr. Hesbon Ongo do meet the required threshold to serve as the county secretary, going by the popular Swahili saying that chema chajiuza kibaya chajitembeza. This particular candidate, Mr. Speaker, sold himself, and as assessed by the committee and projected in our report, Mr. Speaker, the suitability of this candidate was assessed based on functions of the county secretary, that are provided for under Section 44 of the County Governments Act. Mr. Speaker, his academic credentials, professional training, experience, personal integrity, background qualities, and as well as performance during approval hearing, Mr. Speaker, impressed all of us. And I just want to urge this Honorable House to approve Mr. Hesbon Ongo to the position of the County Secretary, because he is the best and the most suitable that this county can ever have to steer government business forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
Honorable members, the motion adoption of report of the appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Hesbon Owuor Ongo, nominee to the position of county secretary, have been moved and appropriately seconded by the deputy speaker. As per our standing orders, I now want to propose a question. And I propose that the motion on adoption of the report of the appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Hesbon Owuor Ongo, nominee to the position of county secretary, is open for debate. Yes, Honorable Ruben Rakwach.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the report by the Appointment Committee on Suitability of one Mr. Hesbon Ongo. Honorable Speaker, this is also of facts, and going by the County Government Act 2012, Section 44, it's indicated that a person who should hold this office should have 10 years experience in administration and management, and at the same time should have a bachelor degree from a recognized, or rather the first degree from a recognized university in Kenya. And going by the report and the academic credential that were adduced, one Mr. Ongo satisfy that section, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, by one Mr. Ongo accepting the nomination to this office, I just want to say that he wanted to be fair to this county and to have time in the office to give back to his community. Because if going by the professional qualification, we get that one Mr. Ongo is a certified public accountant, a certified public secretary, Honorable Speaker, a certified internal auditor, Honorable Speaker, and lastly, a certified information system auditor. This one shows how overqualified for this position he is, because in the Constitution, there is only need for you to be a bachelor degree, to have first degree and 10 years experience. But he has worked in the board, County Public Service Board of Kisumu for 10 years. He has been assistant county secretary now for almost a year, Honorable Speaker, and other areas as indicated in the report. And Honorable Speaker, another reason why I would support this report, because it's going to work as a link between the executive and this assembly, Honorable Speaker, even in terms of correspondences. And this man has got a lot of respect and he give audience to even all the elected leaders in this house, Honorable Speaker. So for me, he's the one who is best suited for this position. I know it was, when he was interviewed, the committee even looked at his 10 years in the office, what he was able to do. And it has been reported that there was no conflict of interest during his tenure in the office, Honorable Speaker, and also he satisfies the requirement of Chapter 6 with all those, Honorable Speaker, I have strong reasons to believe that is the man who is best suited for this position, and for that matter, I support and I implore on all the members of this county assembly to support this report so that we can have this right man in that office, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, I support.
Seth Okumu.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this report from the Committee on Appointments to approve Hesbon Hongo as the County Secretary. Honorable Speaker, you have proved through this report that Hongo meets integrity that is required by Chapter 6. He has the academic qualifications that is required by Public Approval and Appointments Act. Honorable Speaker, having seen him, you have seen that he's physically fit and he can perform the duties that is required in that office. Honorable Speaker, he has also worked in that position on acting capacity. Honorable Speaker and members, there are so many people in this county who are acting, who should be approved with this assembly, but they fear presenting themselves before this assembly. Or for one reason or the other, they have never come here. But this one person who, after acting, has gone through the process of being confirmed as the county secretary. And to me, Honorable Speaker, that's one of the main reasons why I want to ask the honorable members to consider approving this Hesbon Hongo to serve as the county secretary. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, Mr. Hongo has great institutional memory of this county, having worked with the first governor, the Honorable Jack Ranguma, when he was the secretary to the County Public Service Board. He has worked with the current governor, Professor Peter Nyang'nyong'o, also as the secretary to the board. He has worked on the acting capacity in this county as the county secretary. All this, the honorable member for North Kisumu is saying that he has also worked with him. I don't know on what, but I know he's very specialized in working with the other gender. So we won't go deep in that. But honorable members, with that institutional memory, this is somebody who can push the office and the deliverables in that particular office to the best interest of the people of Kisumu. We want somebody who knows what we need. You know, the function of the office of the county secretary includes managing of staff. We are having a challenge with the wage bill. And this dates back to when the county governments they started. And we believe by giving him an opportunity, having served at the service board and now the county secretary, he will help us address this issue of wage bill that is bedeviling Kisumu County, honorable members. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to speak much. I want to agree with the committee on approving the Hesbon Hongo as the county secretary, and I want to ask honorable members in the House to join the committee in approving so that we can get services to the people of Kisumu County, because I believe and I know that we are getting the best from all the candidates who are vying for that position. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Lima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to stand to support the report brought by this committee. Mr. Speaker, the person or the office we are trying to approve today will be the head of the civil service in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, if anything else that is bedeviling Kisumu County is the issue of civil service. What we lack as MCAs to implement our programs on the ground lies squarely with the civil service. And for the committee to approve Mr. Esbonongo to come and head that office, it's a great honor that will help us, because this is a guy who has employed almost, if not all, civil servants in Kisumu County from devolution time in 2013 to date. And therefore is well conversant with all the particulars and all the departments in Kisumu County. I want to urge our members that there are things that we can debate on and argue, but the person we are talking about today, me as Gadolem having worked with him for now 7 years, he has never done anything against an honorable member or an interest of an honorable member. I want to urge the members that we have issues like my colleague Honorable Seth said. Some people will want to act for the rest of their lives because they fear being vetted. This is a person who has been clean. He has been in this Kisumu County almost now 12 years in the board and an active capacity as a county secretary. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I don't think it's much to talk about Honorable Ongo. I wish to request this house that we approve, let Honorable Ongo take the office and come and get the interest of members to be served so that Kisumu County can go forward. I want to finish by saying, in future, and going to the future, and this one goes to Mr. Ongo himself, after taking the office officially, please allow members to meet you so that we can also give the grievance directly to you so that the civil service of Kisumu County can be won and serve the interest of the constituents of Kisumu County. Thank you and I support.
Honorable Pamela Oyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support the report on the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, I want to support the report because a cabinet secretary is the head of the public service of any county. And I want to say, being a head of any public service, you need the required qualification to do the job. And I think Mr. Hongo has the capacity and he has the merits to do his job well. Being the county secretary, I think he will be the secretary of the cabinet. He is the secretary to the cabinet, and his responsibility is to give direction to other institutions, other people who are working directly with the county government. With the qualification and the experience Mr. Hongo has, I think he has the ability to do that pretty well for Kisumu County. I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that Mr. Hongo in his previous offices, he has done his work well, and he has related with people well. I don't think he has any issue that can stop him from doing his work better. He has the ability to convey decisions because of the qualifications he has. So I want to take this opportunity to support the motion and to allow other members to debate on the motion because I think it is worth debating. I congratulate him for doing his work well, and I want to say this House should really support this motion and allow him to work with us to make Kisumu County a better place. Thank you.
Honorable, now I had given the limitation of debate, so I give Honorable Ngeta Maurice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, let me congratulate the committee of appointment led by our able speaker, which is you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, secondly, I want to support the report before us, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the man we are discussing today, Mr. Hesbon Ongo, is a man whom I know very well. He's a man of integrity, Mr. Speaker. He's a man who is a God-fearing man, down to earth, a workaholic, and also having finance background, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe this man, Mr. Hesbon Hongo, whom I believe in his academic qualification, and we have seen and we have heard, and also he can bring some sanity in this government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, being a CPA holder, Mr. Speaker, he can bring also some sanity in the finance department, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to support, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report. Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the committee, and allow me therefore to congratulate members of the appointment committee for a job well done. This committee burned their midnight oil to come up with a suitable candidate in the name of Hongo. Mr. Speaker, it was not a very easy task, but we were guided by the guidelines that are laid down that made us arrive at the said name, Mr. Hongo. Mr. Speaker, it is not the first time that this committee has brought names in this house. Others have been rejected by the committee themselves or the house. But this time round, this particular candidate, the whole committee unanimously arrived at the right candidate. Mr. Speaker, when I awarded the marks, I did not know that other candidates, other members of the committee did so it fit to do the same. It was because the candidate had those qualities that have been mentioned by other members, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the academic qualification, the credentials that the candidate presented were very, very overwhelming and true to his character, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the candidate deserves the position that is being appointed to, Mr. Speaker, and I must also congratulate our governor, His Excellency Professor Nyong'o, who saw it fit to again appoint Mr. Hongo as the second secretary to the public service. Or leaders do not like working with their predecessors' appointees. It is a testimony that our governor looks at the quality and qualification of a person and not political affiliation. You remember this candidate was once appointed as the secretary for public service in 2013. When the governor took over and his team in 2017, the same qualification and demeanor of the candidate impressed the governor's team to reappoint him as the secretary. So it is a lesson learned and should be related as a good gesture and a good way of transiting to another regime. Mr. Speaker, the candidate, during his time as the acting secretary to the county, demonstrated by action that he is fit and can serve in that office as he did serve the people of the Kisumu County without any doubt in members of these counties' mind that he is not able to execute his duties. Mr. Speaker, I'm confident that the gentleman in the name of Hongo will take this county as the county secretary to another notch, which is higher than where it is now. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case. As I say, it's the second time that I support the report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Vincent Jack.
He's naked. He's naked, Mr. Speaker.
What is it, Honorable Calvin?
Let him stand. He's naked, Mr. Speaker.
Answered. I have not get.
I'm saying my brother is naked.
Sergeant Atam, can you confirm to me? Can dress. Can you proceed?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
What is the point of order?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kennedy Ouko is naked in the house.
Honorable Kennedy Ouko, can you stand up? I want to see you.
Certainly.
Please kindly step out and dress properly. Honorable Jagogo, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, many of my colleagues have talked about the motion. Let me also echo my voice in support of the motion. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Hongo is a smart fellow. Having worked with the two governors and having worked with the members of the County Assembly, without any hitch, I believe he's a smart fellow. And Mr. Speaker, without saying so many things, I want to support and I want to say let him be given the job and let him continue doing the good work. We don't want to spoil the soup. We don't want to say so many things about him that may spoil him. But I believe if given the opportunity as substantive CS, he will work with the members of the County Assembly, he will work with the members of the Executive, and also will help us coordinate most of the things that we are doing at our ward level. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, let me say I support the motion.
Honorable Samuel Dede.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for considering me over the motion. I also rise to support the motion on the floor by echoing the congratulating the team for work well done. You see that the appointment committee has worked well. During the other time, they didn't manage to get to the CCM for water and environment. And right now, they've sourced and get the right person. With the qualifications the Honorable Ongo has, makes him well to fit the inclusion. According to the report which you've been given, Mr. Speaker, we found that the clerk to the County Assembly also did well by getting the waziri on time, the correct timeline. Found that the printing from the media was sourced.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I would want to inform Honorable Dede that the committee of appointment does not source for candidates to be vetted. The appointment committee vets the candidates that have been presented to them and sourced by elsewhere, probably by the governor.
Honorable Dede, I believe you are properly informed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was a slip of the tongue, and thank you for collecting me, my junior member. Mr. Speaker, even though the honorable member was sourced from the department, from the governor's office, and we found that it's well to work with him. And we found that as per the score sheet which was set, the target which was set by the appointment committee, which was 60%, he managed to score over 80%, which was excellent. And according to section 78(1)(2) of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, we found that he met the threshold by being a Kenyan citizen and he had no dual citizenship, being that a Kenyan citizen and was born within Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, sourcing from within the department makes work easy. We found that with the person, we know the characters since the initiation. We found that Mr. Hongo had been in the department and understands the department well. So I ask the members, if they approve the Honorable Hongo, Mr. Speaker, they also, once he gets into the office, he can at least assist us in at least going for the head count so that the wage bill should be reduced. And also, I was following through the online submission, Mr. Speaker, he was articulating the issues well as concerned. And as we'll be approving the Bongo, Mr. Speaker, we'll request that other gaps are still within our government, Mr. Speaker, like in the Department of Water and Natural Resources. We should also at least, if we can source from within the department so that if the governor source from within the department and being brought to the assembly and approved so that the work to be easy. And finally, Mr. Speaker, concerning also from the sourcing from within the department, we've been having some gaps within the county government of Kisumu, whereby others search for a longer period, which should also be vetted. So after approving on Mr. Hongo, Mr. Honorable Speaker, I think it's prudent that he also... Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What is it, Bodari? Mr. Speaker, kindly protect Honorable Dede. There is a lot of noise on the other side. They are just singing. Honorable Bodari, they did not complain. Yeah, Honorable.
Honorable Beni Pete Oiko.
Mr. Speaker, today we are giving the governor their approval to appoint Mr. Hesbon Ongo as the county secretary of Kisumu County. Today is a very wonderful day for Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, a member alluded something here that we have so many people in acting capacity. And this gives a wrong picture of this house. But because the acting position should not take more than 6 months. So when the assembly has allowed that to go on, we stand questioned what role we are doing, the oversight role we are doing. Let those positions be identified and action taken.
Honorable Beni, should not mislead the House. Which law provides that somebody should act for 6 months?
Mr. Speaker, the acting position should not be more than 6 months.
Which law?
By the Kenyan law.
Can you quote it, Honorable Beni, because you are misleading the House?
During the statement time, I'll bring it. Because we are allowed to answer what we cannot answer when we are on the floor, to bring the answer during the statement time. That being the way, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Beni, I direct you not to mislead the House or the public. So you better withdraw, or if you have that law that renders somebody to act for 6 months, you quote it.
Sir, I'll oblige, but I'll pursue it. I oblige, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Ongo, because of his professional qualification, he has good skills and experience to lead this country to the next level. He's a qualified accountant. He's a certified public secretary. That means he has a lot of knowledge on human resource management. When we look at the papers, his professional papers provided here. Above those, Mr. Speaker, is also an internal auditor. A position, a qualification that is owned by very few people. Is also well versed on matters of computer, giving us the picture that we are getting a government worker who is all round. and that is a credit for Mr. Ongo. And the time he has served in the county government also gives us a very good picture of someone who was related very well with the people of Kisumu County. And his good PR has been echoed in this house. And Mr. Speaker, when we go to page 20, what has been page 20, number 61, what the committee has highlighted on him is knowledge on topical matters, administrative and technical issues, touching on the portfolio to which he had been nominated. That gives us a very good picture of the man we are discussing today. And Mr. Speaker and honorable members, we know who Mr. Ongo is. Let us give the governor the freedom to appoint him to this position, and it is our hope, and I know it is known, for the time he has served this country, that he will not fail Kisumu County. But there are some matters which are being raised, Mr. Speaker. These matters are matters which cannot just be raised and left hanging. The matter of wage bill. The matter of wage bill is not a matter that the county secretary will solve overnight. Let us give the good picture of the problem on wage bill. The salary is progressive. The salary of workers increases on annual basis. There's annual increase. And there's also a time limit, 3-4 years, when the staff have taken that, they demand promotion. And promotion comes with salary increase. And when we are now talking about the wage bill, let us not forget the on-source revenue, how the country has failed to collect the on-source revenue, and the exchanger that comes from Nairobi is also static. So when the money, the national exchanger and the on-source revenue is not properly collected, our people, the salary will keep on going, and we shall be complaining of the rising wage bill, and we shall be wrong. That is why we are asking the national government must increase their allocation to the counties. The counties must ensure that the collection of their own source revenue is also increased. Then the wage bill is well managed. Because we also know the county government must continue employing. Like now, the deficit we have in the employment of ECD teachers. Money must be there for the county government to employ. So the matter of wage bill is another matter that will be discussed. But as of now, Mr. Ongo merits our approval for the governor to appoint him to this position so that he can serve the people of Kisumu County. I so submit and I support.
Honorable Kelvin Oraro. Honorable Joachim. You are sitting where you normally don't sit, so I'm most not able to notice you. But bear with me, I've already given to Honorable Kelvin Oraro.
I was almost complaining, Mr. Speaker. Most of the speakers who have spoke before me were from the other side. I thought you were not seeing this side, but now...
Honorable Oraro, I did present here the limitation of debate, and we said that the priority is given to the leader of majority in that order.
Okay, allow me to proceed. Mr. Speaker, the issue of county secretary in Kisumu County has been a very tricky issue from 2017 to date. I don't know the number of how many people have served in that position, in acting, and those who are employed. But today, I believe that the candidates we are going to approve as assembly will work for the remaining years that the governor is going to serve and for the period of time that is going to serve as a county secretary. The work of appointment committee is to look into things that are worth and even to spare time if any member of the public have any issue with the candidate who has been presented. Mr. Speaker, from the report that has just been read, there is no member of the public, there is no any other member outside Kisumu who has complained against CPA Hesbon Ongo. And for that reason, as a committee, you had given a green light or you have approved that is suitable for the work. And according to the professional background, I think he can do his work well. My only worry is that let him stand tall and let him be counted as one person who is going to serve for more than 3-4 years in that office. I don't know what is wrong with the office, but sometimes the people who are given, the other one, they gave cousin to majority leader, somebody called Auma, and it took around 6 months. Oh, the light note, Mr.
What is it, the Honorable Leader Majority? Honorable Speaker, under statements of fact, I have no relationship with the said Mr. Uma. So can the honorable member substantiate how Mr. Uma is my cousin?
It was on a light note. Dr. Uma comes from Kano, and I believe he is the senior most official from Kano. And I was assuming that he is related to Honorable Majority Leader, but it was just on a light note. What I'm just talking about is that the office has seen many faces coming in, and most of them don't end up well. So I'm really praying for my brother Hesbon Ongo to stand tall and do his work diligently. And I believe his relation with the governor will actually make him perform and see the end of his term. I support the report.
Honorable Joaquim Okech.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why Honorable Ojemo is complaining, but where he's seated, he's carrying something goldish. I don't know whether it's a padlock, so I'm even worried what is Honorable. So I don't know why he has carried a padlock into the house, Mr. Speaker, but he will explain to us why he has a padlock.
James Omolo.
Differentiate the two. Kaki, thank you.
Can you switch off on your microphone while speaking on James Omolo so that I hear what you are saying?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm really offended. This is a kaki. This is not a padlock. So if this big man don't know how to differentiate the two, then he should go to class 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why he has a very big key holder, but it looks like a padlock. So I was wondering what is happening in Nyakachi with these padlocks, but I think he will explain to us well, Mr. Speaker. That's a story for another day. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to support the nomination of Mr. Hongo, and precisely because, one, Mr. Hongo resides in Kondele. So he's one person that I know better, in as much as he hails from Seme, but a resident of Magadi unit. And he prays at, he worships at St. Luke SK Church. And even last week we were together with him as he was praying so that probably the Holy Spirit can intervene so that members approve his nomination. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I support it because Mr. Hongo is someone with a diverse finance background. And if you can see the mood of the House, Mr. Speaker, we have a crisis. And sometimes as the budget chair, when you see members acknowledge that as a county, our fiscal space is probably not doing so well. So having a county secretary, one who has what we call, who has been there before, and two, who has been part of the process,
And earlier, Mr. Speaker, I really wanted Mr. Hongo to get that position because I feel he contributed to part of the problem. So we want him to come and correct the problem that probably he contributed, because there is a huge cry about wage bill. Two, there has been several irregularities when it comes to promotion, employment with very high pay grade, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, even the acting positions that Honorable Peter was talking about, some of them are issues that we believe that somebody with the stature of Mr. Hongo can help solve. And therefore, I believe if Mr. Hongo has been there and he contributed to some of these issues, we now want to take him to task to help us solve it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our county is not doing so well when it comes to cash flow management. And it has been attributed mostly to two issues. One, the issues of HR, which are created by the board, and two, which my brother has mentioned about the revenue. And therefore, as we strive to work on our revenue so that we can have good numbers, I think we also need to solve our HR issues, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are a county that pays salaries, and that's all. And you have seen the crisis in this town. And as somebody who comes from the street, Mr. Speaker, there are a lot of complaints that even our contractors cannot be paid. So many people who do business with the county are not able to get their money. There are complaints, even the most basic services. Now, Mr. Speaker, even the staff themselves are complaining that they are not able to get their allowances, Mr. Speaker. So the cause of this is attributed majorly to the HR crisis that we have as a county. So I believe Mr. Hongo has the capacity to make a firm stand. We need a county secretary who can stand by what he means. We need a county secretary who can be firm, because we only believe somebody who is firm enough will be able to help us solve this crisis. And that is why I believe that Mr. Hongo is capable, and if we give him the chance, we'll be able to transform and help us salvage Kisumu County before it goes down. Otherwise, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I know I'm supposed to give Honorable James Omolo, but by your indulgence, I want to request you that Honorable Millicent Omoya stood severally, if you allow me. I know in order of priority I should give you. Honorable Millicent Omoya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity first to congratulate the committee for the job well done. And I just want to echo what all other members have said about Mr. Hesbon Hongo. Mine will be just a message to Mr. Hongo, because as the debate goes, it's evident that he's going to be the secretary. Going back to what Honorable Eliakim has said, county is not in a very good state. We are trending negatively. And I want to tell him that he's now going to be the substantive county secretary. He should take his job with a lot of seriousness. As a county, we are depending on him. We've had enough shame, and it's our prayers that he will be in a position to put things in order. He should be in a position to deal with these rogue appointees of the governor. And I believe with the experience that he has in devolution government, Dr. Hongo, Mr. Hongo will give us the best of him. I support. Thank you so much.
I'm senior.
You know, Honorable, I want to request. I know Chair, but let me give Honorable follow.
But I'm senior.
He has stood for quite some time. You know, I saw you walking out in, so I thought you were relaxing. So let me give Honorable James Ombolo, then you come in.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for protecting me. He's my brother. Mr. Speaker, allow me to support this motion of the appointment committee. Mr. Speaker, the guy Hesbon Hongo has been in the county for a long time, since 2013 up to now, and his record speaks for itself. He's someone who is not a stranger to us.
Point of order. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, is it in order for Honorable Gadolema and Honorable Nereo Kombo to romance in the House?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what romance means for an honorable member if you are consulting.
If you are consulting, consult in low tones. I don't know what the Lord of Leader Majority is seeing from that side.
Honorable Speaker, they were consulting intimately. So, Honorable Speaker, you can see.
I will have to separate the two. Honorable Leader Majority, inform me. If you see the same, I'll have to separate the two.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Hongo has been in the
Leader Majority, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, this is a house of honor and dignity. Mr. Speaker, the Speaker on the floor is naked.
Honorable James Omolo, face me. Can you face me, Honorable James Omolo? I think you step out and dress properly. Honorable Moses Ochele.
Thank you, Mr.
Second time, assist Honorable James Omolo to step out and dress properly. Ochele.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it will be a crime if I miss to record my voice on the support of the motion today in the confirmation of Honorable Mr. Hezbon Hongo as the County Secretary. Mr. Speaker, before I give my points, may I take this chance first to thank the Committee on Appointment for having given me space, opting me to be a participant in the activities of vetting on Mr. Hongo. Mr. Speaker, I have just two issues because my colleagues have kind of exhausted everything about him. Mr. Speaker, I may take this chance now to commend His Excellency the Governor, Professor Peter Nyang'nyong'o, who have seen the potential, who have seen the hardworkingness in Mr. Hongo, to appoint him to the position of the County Secretary. And he has appointed Mr. Hongo at a time when the county is grappling with a number of underlying issues, Mr. Speaker. And I believe that the wisdom the governor saw in Mr. Hongo is the wisdom that will steer this county to greater heights, Mr. Speaker. First, Mr. Speaker, we are grappling with the issue of wage bill and balancing the wage bill and own source revenue has been a thorn in the flesh. And these two issues, Mr. Speaker, has trickled down to our wards, interfering with the implementation of ward-based development projects. Mr. Speaker, I got opportunity when Mr. Hongo was discussing how he create a balance between the wage bill, own source revenue, and even in furthering the own source revenue, Mr. Speaker. I have faith that in the next financial year, this country will not be talking of the wage bill, but we will be talking of improved own source revenue that will even increase number of projects implementation in our wards, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this county has rogue employees, which sometimes we can call ghost workers, and it has been identified by the department in charge of payroll. Mr. Speaker, I had Mr. Hongo with the past experience, he had tackled similar scenarios. We need our payroll to be cleaned. By cleaning the payroll, Mr. Speaker, we will be reducing the bill by removing redundancy. Mr. Speaker, we have a monster in the county called pending bills. And my main concern is pending bills in the Department of County Attorney,
pending bills which have been taken to court. We remember what happened, the incident we had last week. It is an incident of pending bills which are dated to some to 1994 with the defunct county municipalities and county local authorities, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, if these things are not handled well, there are issues that can bring this county to its knees. And I want to believe that with Hesbon Hongo properly seated in his office, I think he has negotiating abilities. He can negotiate with the contractors who took the county to court. He can also negotiate with the paymaster so that these contractors are paid some dues, or the intention of paying them should be seen so that the county does not get embarrassed the way it was last week. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to wish Mr. Esmond Ongo well. I'm praying for him that the Almighty God fill his cup of wisdom so that he can get time, get knowledge of tackling a number of issues which are bedeviling this county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want to request Honorable Were and Honorable James that I give Honorable Regina. Then when I come back, I will punish Honorable James Omolo for dressing not accordingly. So I give Honorable James Were, then Honorable James Omolo. Honorable Regina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing the power of women. Mr. Speaker, yeah. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this motion to approve Mr. Hesbon Owuor Hongo's nomination to the office of the County Secretary. From my reading of the report last night, and particularly the findings of the committee, Mr. Speaker, I have observed and indeed agree with the committee that the nomination and the vetting process has adhered strictly to the provisions of Section 44 of the County Government Acts 2012. Mr. Speaker, it is also crucial to note that Mr. Hongo's qualifications are not merely academic but also practical and deeply aligned with the requirements of this role, Mr. Speaker. With a bachelor's degree, and I say with a bachelor's degree in commerce and a master's in business administration from reputable institutions, Mr. Hongo brings both theoretical knowledge and practical insight into the complexities of county administration, Mr. Speaker. Additionally, his professional journey demonstrates a track record of financial acumen and strategic leadership, Mr. Speaker. His appointment, Mr. Speaker, will continue significantly to the efficiency and integrity of our county's administration, setting a foundation for more effective governance and service delivery, Mr. Speaker. And so I want to urge honorable members to join me in endorsing this motion, affirming our commitment to appointing individuals of integrity and competence to position of influence within our county government and people of degree, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. I support.
I had said Honorable James Were.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support the motion that Mr. Esbon Ongo be hired to be our county secretary. Mr. Speaker, I've worked with Mr. Esbon Ongo since 2013, and I know that is a performer. I know that is a family man. I know that is a truthful man. And Mr. Speaker, going by the recommendations from the report, Mr. Esbon Ongo scored the highest mark. Mr. Speaker, checking on the academic qualification, Mr. Esbon Ongo has met all the required academic qualifications that is pertaining to that employment opportunity. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the integrity section, he has met the chapter 6. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion that Hesbon Ongo be the County Secretary of County of Kisumu. Thank you.
Honorable James Somolo, you had 1 minute to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, just allow me to conclude. Mr. Speaker, the competence in Mr. Ongo will really be of a great deal for this county. And being a county secretary who is substantive in office is able to tackle so many issues now arising in the county. And we believe from his performance in the past duties, he is able to steer this county to a greater level. And Mr. Speaker, if honesty is a person, the one Mr. Ongo is a very honest person in terms of his delivery in performance and otherwise. And we need such people in position to really deal with the vices which we are having a challenge with in this county. Mr. Speaker, we have a huge wage bill in this county. And at the helm of the County Secretary's office, he will be able to deal with it because he was once in the board. He understands the structure of the county government in terms of recruitment, and he knows so much about those who join the force and otherwise. So, Mr. Speaker, allow me to support. Thank you.
Honorable Matara, then Honorable Bill.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the nomination of one Hesbon Hongo for the position of County Secretary, Kisumu County Secretary. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that when Kenya introduced the Capacity Assessment Realization Public Service, that CAPS program, its main intention was intent to identify and to establish the existing resources capacity at the county, at the national level, and at the county level. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that one Mr. Hongo merit is template for his qualified, experienced, and also he's a performer by all standards. Mr. Speaker, this now goes directly to one Mr. Hongo, now the County Secretary, if being passed and the nomination. In Matthew 25 from 23, and I want to quote these. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things, with few things. I will put you in charge of all many things. Come and share your master's happiness. I congratulate the committee for a good work. And I say, well done, and I support. Faithful is a virtue needed in public servanthood. Thank you, and I support.
Bobil.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At last I speak. I've been standing for some time now. Mr. Speaker, I want to really appreciate the committee for good work, and I want to thank the governor also for giving us a worthy candidate for this position, and I believe we are going to approve as the House. Mr. Speaker, one Mr. Hongo, I believe if you judge from the report of his service, is somebody who has dedicated his life to serving Kisumu County. He has served since devolution, and I believe he's best fit for that position, being that he now understands the chronic problems that we have as a county government. Mr. Speaker,
I've had the opportunity to meet the man himself, and I can say he's a real gentleman, and is one person who is really dedicated to serving the people of Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, if you look at his qualifications, he is really tailored for that position. And I want to pray for him that when he gets the position, that he serves for a very long period, considering the history that that position has. So, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the qualifications, he's a CPAK holder, and I believe in his role as the county secretary, there are book of accounts that he'll have access to, and also he has the qualification of a CPSK also, and also has a lot of knowledge in IT. And I believe all those are very key to that position. And as I support Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that in his serving in that position, he's going to restore and build more on the good working relationship of the county assembly and the county executive. Because I believe working closely and working together as an assembly and the executive, we can achieve a lot. And with that position, is like the eye of the governor. And I believe with the history he has shown and with the consistency that we see, I believe he's going to make the executive and the assembly work for Kisumu County people. And then on chronic issues that we have, being that he has been in the system for some period, I believe he's going to help us solve the issue of the wage bill and also the issue of ghost workers, if there are, so that we get quality delivered to the people of Kisumu County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a lot has been said about Mr. Hongo. And before I proceed, let me take this opportunity to appreciate the good work which has been done by the honorable members who took their time to vet the candidate. Mr. Speaker, I believe that Honorable Hongo is going to perform compared to former county secretary who was fired last year on April. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I've gone through the qualifications of Dr. Hongo, and I've seen he's a gentleman. He will work and he will perform his duty properly. A lot has been said, but I don't want to quote somebody's name. I was listening very carefully. There is a statement which has been made here, and I hope and I believe that all honorable members heard it, that we give him opportunity to go and work and clear the messes which is there. They are the very, very people who brought those messes. I hope he's going to do it and correct all those messes. And I've heard the issue of payment. It is true that staffs of Kisumu County, they have not been paid. I'm aware of 2 months or maybe 3 months, they have not been paid. Contractors and any other, including the assembly. But members are pressing him that he is going to work and restore the dignity of the Kisumu County. Let us give him opportunity so that he can work and correct all those messes which are in the Kisumu County. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, and that is my last point. So, I think it was yesterday, but I was trading on rumors. But being that now I've heard it from a honorable member, now he has confirmed to me that whatever was being said yesterday, it was true. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Onditi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to join my colleague who spoke before me. Foremost in congratulating the committee for a job well done, and also to congratulate the governor because he's the one who is sourcing. I think this time around he did a very good job, because sometimes it's not good for what has happened in this assembly previously, where 2 nominees have been sent packing by the assembly. The person in Hongo is a person that is not only being introduced to this house by the report, but I believe and I'm sure that many, if not all, of the members of this house have one way or the other have interacted with Mr. Ongo on various issues. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Ongo is a gentleman par excellence. I have had opportunity to had a conversation with him on issues touching on my ward and my work as an oversight person in this county. Mr. Speaker, I believe if this county wants to see peace and tranquility in operations of this county, Mr. Ongo should be the man to be the county secretary. Mr. Speaker, sometimes very difficult to get members across the board almost talking unanimously about a person like it has happened today, or the person of Mr. Hongo. And Mr. Speaker, this is a demonstration that if it was not for a matter of procedure and rules, I think after the motion has been moved and seconded, we would have just called the mover to reply so that we save time. Because it's obvious that everybody here agrees with the report of the committee. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, with many remarks, I also support the report, and I wish Mr. Hongo well in his new job. I know nothing comes without challenges, just like the office is about to occupy, has many challenges, and I think by the background of Mr. Hongo having a very strong institutional memory of this county, I think he will deal with those challenges accordingly in the interest of in due time. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Honorable Obasa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At least you recognize me. Mr. Speaker, let me also be in concurrence with the previous speakers in supporting this report. And first, let me start by also congratulating the committee for a job well done in this report. Mr. Speaker, I've known Dr. Hongo over the last 3 years. And he's a gentleman, soft-spoken leader, and a person of integrity, whom I believe, when given this responsibility, is going to undertake it with all the qualification and all the vigor that it requires. I just want to ask and also urge this House to support Dr. Hongo in this, and if approved, also support him in his endeavors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It couldn't go without adding my voice to this important report. I believe Dr. Hongo is a good guy who knows how to relate with everyone, no matter the background. And also is a good guy who can balance between the governance side and also the political side. So I just want to ask this House to support this report and also support the individual Hinongo. Thank you.
Sami.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, now that everyone is supporting this report, may I call the model reply?
Today, Sami has agreed with the report and called the mover to reply. Remove the mover. Can you reply?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to first say that I'm not the remover, I'm the mover. First, Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the Governor for his wisdom to nominate Mr. Hesbon Owuor-Hongo to the position of the County Secretary. Secondly, I want to thank the Committee of Appointment for the due diligence that they observed during the vetting exercise when Mr. Hongo appeared before them in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, I want to applaud what the Deputy Speaker said, that in the history of Kisumu County, I think Mr. Hongo is the best suitable, credible, and sober person to occupy the office of the County Secretary. As was mentioned by Honorable Akwach, I think it goes without saying that he fits the position due to his academic background, having bachelor's in finance and master's in finance, and being certified as an accountant, as an internal auditor, as an information system auditor. I think the guy in the name of Mr. Hongo fits to be the county secretary with those qualifications. Honorable Setoku mentioned the institutional memory, and when we look at the background of Mr. Hongo, having worked with the first governor of this county, Mr. Ranguma, to date, I think nobody has such a kind of a background. And I think when we approve Mr. Hongo, we'll be able to tackle the number of issues that are affecting the county as of now. And I remember when we asked during the vetting exercise, when we asked Mr. Hongo what he will do in his 100 days, I think he promised the committee that he will come back to tell us what is done within his 100 days in office. That is touching on the wage bill and the county employee behavior, the change behavior in the employees. Honorable Gado Lema, I agree with you that Mr. Hongo's record speaks for itself. And this is the first time that we are having a report that is supported unanimously by all the members, including Honorable Gado Lema and Honorable Sami. You know, all the time Sami is always on the opposing side. But this time, for Sami to agree that Honorable Hongo sits that position, then I think he fits it. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Jabongo talked about working relationship between the MCS or members of this house and the county executive. I think our working relationship has not been very good, and I hope in the person of Mr. Hongo, with the knowledge in human resources, he will be able to bring us together so that we work in harmony with the executive, and issues of protocol that always been a problem with when we have meetings with the executive. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Peter Rico talked about the wage bill. And now all of us are talking about wage bill. Where I say it, I can say that the governor is taking very drastic action to tackle the wage bill. And I want to ask members, when it comes, that time comes, let us support the governor. It is not an easy thing. but let us support the governor. I also wanted to correct Honorable Peter Eko that it is not the exchanger. We normally have the exchequer. He talked about the exchanger, so many members were wondering exchanger. Honorable Mr. Tomoya talked about that the county has been trending negative, and it is true. So we need the person in the caliber of Mr. Hongo to change the face of this county so that we move away from being taken negatively to positive trend. Honorable Regina Kisito, being a youth and a very powerful woman, talked about that you do not only qualify. When we have seen people brought to this house that have very good academic papers, but when you engage them practically, they score very poorly. But Mr. Hongo has proved this wrong by being academically fit and practically fit. So I hope Mr. Hongo qualifies to be the county secretary if approved by this house. Now at this juncture, I want to persuade the house that we approve the nomination of Mr. Everybon Hongo to be the county secretary of this county. And Mr. Speaker, I want to seek your indulgence that in case members approve the nomination of Mr. Hongo, as the leadership of this house, we should be invited for the swearing ceremony so that we also feel part of that process. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I do reply. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, now that the motion adoption of the report of the appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Hesbon Hongo, nominee to the position of county secretary, has been moved by the leader of majority, seconded by the deputy speaker, debated. As per our standing orders now, I want to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that the motion adoption of the report of the appointment of the appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Hesbon Hongo, nominee to the position of county secretary, be adopted, say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. And the motion adoption of the report of appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Hesbon Hongo, nominee to the position of county secretary, has been adopted today, Thursday, the 7th of November 2024 at 16:55 hours. And by that it means the House approves his nomination and the governor should proceed to appoint him, but I direct the Hansard team to prepare the Hansard report for onward submission to the governor for purposes of appointment of one Mr. Hesbon Hongo to the position of county secretary. Next order.
Mr. Speaker and honorable members, there is no any other business in the order paper.
We can be upstanding, honorable members. There being no any other business in the order paper, the House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 12th of November, 2024 at 2:30 p.m.